Hey, gang, we're here for back, biceps, and shoulders. You can get by with dumbbells only for this whole workout today. I do have a bench. I recommend a bench, but if you don't have one, you can still do this whole workout without. So we've got two supersets. We finished with a tri-set, which means we have three separate moves in one set. So we go from one move right into the next. 10 reps of each. Then we rest and come back. So we've got four sets of superset number one, three sets of superset number two, and three sets of our tricep. So real simple profile today, nothing too complicated and not a ton of exercises. So this workout and the overall theme of the week should show you that you can really simplify your workouts, and specifically the exercises in your workouts to make them quick, effective, foundational, and give you everything you need in a short period of time. So, we're going to start with a quick warm up. I do have a resistance band for the warm up only. That's the only time I'm going to use it. I'll talk about the specific weights that I'm using for today. In superset number one, we've got a supported bent over row. I'll be using my bench for that. Other option is just a straight up bent over row with your dumbbells or a barbell. Okay, so for that move, I have 30s. I also have 20s, and I do have one 50-pound dumbbell, but we're not going single arm today, so I don't think I'll be using that for anything. I'm just getting some shoulder mobility. And then we're going to go single arm lat pull. I also have 10-pound weights for this workout for lat raises, bicep curls, front raises. Let's get my band up here. Just a single arm lat pull. Like I'm pulling my elbow directly into my back pocket. That's what I'm going for. And if you are, as always, looking to improve your pull-up form, get more strict pull-ups, progress to pull-ups, then that's something I definitely encourage you to be working on more often than just back day. Okay, so make sure you're doing those dead hangs. Make sure you are, if you have your um, pull-up bar in your home, make sure you are making those progressions, either using a band and working banded pull-ups, or you're working on the dead hang and a slow negative. Make sure you are, if you have access to the gym or at least the lat pull, make sure you are using the lat pull down and you're progressing to at least your body weight. Okay, so if you're not able to lat pull, 140 pounds, if you weigh 140 pounds, that's going to tell you you're not going to be able to pull your own body weight unless you're really progressing there. So those are just some basics and some tips if you are making an effort to progress to pull-ups. So as always, you want to make sure you get those in back day, but you're working on those drills more days than not, even if it's just, 5 dead hangs after a leg day or after your other upper body day or whatever the case may be. All right, so let me try to get my music back up here and we'll get it going. You can go ahead with some cat and cows or take 30 seconds to stretch out anything else you want to stretch out. I love a good cat and cow. If you are using a bench, make sure you've got plenty of room. It's away from your wall. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust my bench for my rows. 45 degrees. Okay. We're going 8 to 10 reps in our rows. So again, option is your supported bench. Your other option is just bent over with your barbell or dumbbells. And remember, the goal is to try to get very close to failure in most of your moves, if nothing else, your main compounds. So that's going to be your bent over rows, and that's going to be your overhead presses today. So here we go. Now again, if you're watching me, everything that I do is with a super slow and controlled tempo, slow and under control, so we can engage the proper muscles. We're alternating with back extensions. Feel free to use the back extension machine if you're at the gym. 8 to 12 reps. All right. 1 of 3. All right, so I'm going to progress to my 30s at this point, even if that means I'm failing early. If I'm failing closer to 8, then that's cool. I'm good with that. Set number 2. Here we go. Whew. So good. Now, you'll know how I feel about back extensions. It is the most underrated back/core exercise I think ever. I look around and, people just aren't doing them. And you've got to strengthen the low back. You can't forget that the low back is part of the core, for sure. It's also part of the back. So we're not just training our upper back. Yes, I know we all want sculpted shoulder blades and toned lats. So we look good in the backless dress and we create the illusion of a smaller waist. But with that also comes working on a neutral spine, working on our posture, working on how much we rely on our low back to support us every single day. So if we're not strengthening it, we're going to lose that strength at some point throughout the course of our life. It's best to learn now the best ways to strengthen our total body, but of course our low back and our core, because that's going to create longevity. If you're not strength training for longevity, you eventually want to shift your focus. Nothing wrong with aesthetics, training for a certain look, all for it. But you're going to stick with it when you make that shift and focus on the longevity piece, the being around longer, the being able to chase your grandkids, the being able to live independently and sufficiently when we get older. I know it's not something that you want to think about, but that's life. So if you want to function independently, functional fitness. Here we go. So good. All right, sometimes when I write my workouts, I'll get in my head a little bit and I'll start to think, well, how can I complete all these reps and sets with this weight? Focus on the rep in front of you. Literally, that's it. And if you're focused on the rep in front of you, you complete it to the best of your ability, then you go ahead and ask the question, can I do one more? Can I do another? Can I do another? And if the answer is yes, you keep going. If the answer is no, or if you fell halfway through, congratulations, because most people don't even attempt. But this is your last set of these guys. Last time you'll see them. Progress in some way. I'm going to shoot for 12, but I'm going to listen to my body first, ultimately. Make sure my reps are quality, focused on tempo, focused on range of motion. All right. Ooh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love when that first set of 4 is done. I'm actually going to leave my bench at this angle. I think I have seated Y's. What do we got? Reverse fly to a front raise. Yes, that's right. And then we've got a seated overhead press. So what we have right here, we're basically going right from one set or I'm sorry, one set of 10 into the next set of 10. So we start with the reverse fly. Boom, boom. And then we go into our Ys. And then we take it into our seated overhead presses. So we'll turn around, 6 to 8 reps only of those, 3 sets total. So proactively, I'm going to grab a set of 8s because I can just feel like I might need those. We just might need some 8s, that's all. I'm going to start with my 10s and hopefully I keep my 10s. But I just want a lighter option just in case. 8 to 10 reps each. Don't feel like you need to be married to a specific number of reps every single time. Try to relax the head, neck, shoulders. All right, starting with 20s. Yeah, okay. 20s, 6 to 8 reps. So don't be shy with your weight selection. So remember, with overhead presses, you kind of want to take the angle of like midway. So not necessarily like an underarm overhead press, but not out here, somewhere like in the middle. So like a 45-degree angle. Boom, that's ideal for our overhead presses. I'm going to attempt these 10s again after a sip of water. This is probably the hardest set of the day, I would say, because we completed a compound lift. We have another compound lift, but we're also working the smaller muscles in the back, in the rear delts. So if you consider yourself weaker in the shoulder area, like I do, this is going to be challenging. If you're strong in the shoulder area, shoulder strength area, you will be thriving in this superset. Here we go. 2 of 3, 8 to 10. All right, let's go 20s. All right, that was 8. Yeah, so 6 to 8 reps. All right, last set, best set. I'm going to attempt 30s for 6. Last set, best set. Here we go. Taking about 20 more seconds to recover. So it's super important to recover after sets, especially supersets, because this superset in particular is using the same muscles that we're recruiting in our compound. So the rear delts are a little bit involved when we're working overhead presses, and then I'm isolating them as well. So if this were opposing muscle groups, sort of like seated bicep curls and overhead presses, you can kind of afford to fly through with less recovery. With something like this, like legs on legs, shoulders on shoulders, you're going to need that little extra recovery. All right. Attempting 30s for 6. Here we go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is what training to failure looks like. Ugly face, barely able to get it up in the last rep. And we're coming into our final little bit of work. Tricep. Tricep. 10 bicep curls. 10 front raises, 10 lat raises. Starting with that seated bicep curl. Now that was a perfect example also of, in my head, I was like, there's no way you're going to get these 30s up for 6. There's no way, there's no way, there's no way. And then I was like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? I fail at 4? Okay, great. That's still 80% of the reps completed that I was going for. Like, what is the worst that could happen? I mean, if you're not confident in your form, you're not going to pick up that heavy weight anyway. If you're confident in your form, if you're confident in your technique, if the weight that you're lifting is not challenging for you, you're going to need to find that challenge point, that point that gets you close to failure, not just fatigue. So here we go. We're going 10, 10, and 10. You do not have to be married to the same weight, by the way, for each move. Finishing with front raises. Rest, rest, rest. Ooh, girl. This is our last 2 sets of work on the day. They don't call it a burnout for nothing. So if you're burning right now, congratulations. That's the whole point. And I am as well. So I'm going to attempt 10s for biceps, and then I'm going to drop it down for 8s for the rest. Here we go. Here we go. Last set of 10. Come on. God damn. Really glad I grabbed those 8s. That's for sure. That is for sure. I'm actually, I think I'm going to get some 5s. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to swap these for 5s for the last and final set. Oh, no shame in these 5s. That's what's going to get me to finish, right? Last set, best set. Make it count in every way. Roll those shoulders down the back. Engage that core. Seated position, I'm isolating the muscles as best I can. Muscle engagement. Time under tension. You know that it's a challenging tri-set when the 5s are making you burn. shake it off, hydrate, eat, stretch, move, go walk, eat your protein, eat your carbs, hydrate, stretch, go slay the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.